from one of the elite programs in the country, UCLA, back in the studios, to another here at Mohegan Sun. Number 4 UConn against Iowa State. The fans for the Huskies have made the short drive to see their team try to slow down one of the best bigs in the country. Audie Crooks, a force inside for the Cyclones. We're so glad you're with us with Christy Winter-Scott. I'm Connor Onion. If you like post-play, you are going to love the next 40 minutes. I know you are so jacked up for this.
I have been waiting for this game all day long, as all the fans in here have as well. This is going to be a foot fight in the paint with a dynamic sophomore and a fabulous freshman, Crooks for Iowa State and Sarah Strong for Connecticut. That is the dynamic duo of a matchup that you have to have circled for this game.
So sparks will be flying in the paint here at Mohegan Sun. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Nutrafol, hair wellness from within. Emily Ryan will feed Crooks a lot. Got to go back to the post, though. Sarah Strong having a great freshman year.
Yeah, she has been magnificent. And Gino Auriemma, the head coach at Connecticut, said that she has made a seamless transition to the collegiate level. She's averaging 16 a game at a high clip, 58% from the floor. She has been so highly consistent, and that is the mark of a great player. And only a freshman. Tremendous upside, obviously. And Paige Bueckers, the only other freshman in UConn history to average more than 15 points a game.
Gino Auriemma saw some similarities between Sarah Strong and Audie Crooks.
Yeah, he said that Sarah Strong was like a mini Audie Crooks, and that is a lot, right? She has had back-to-back 30 or more points in the last 2 games for the Iowa State Cyclones, and she has just been a problem. And Gino Auriemma said, I wish we had her on our team. That's how skilled and as much of a problem as she has created for opponents in her short 2-year career so far.
It's Crooks that wins the tap. Iowa State touches it first, and a partial Husky crowd on hand at Mohegan Sun as Brown gets up the first shot. Second chance for the Cyclones. Now, Iowa State looking for their first top 25 win of the year. Losses against Iowa and against South Carolina, and a good start for Audie Crooks.
Man, that's just so tough, because I don't care what kind of attention you bring behind Crooks. She's going to lift that leg and fade that midi. It's so tough to guard her, and that's what Gino Auriemma was telling us after practice today.
Now the first look is a good one for Ashlynn Shade.
Ashlynn Shade, a 36% shooter from range in her sophomore season. Played a lot last year, a lot of injuries to the Huskies roster. Speaking of injuries, we have Lazy Flood out for not the long time that they thought, right? Just a sprain of the knee, so she looks spry today, and hopefully she'll be back on the floor soon for UConn.
2 looks for Shade, both go to begin.
Yeah, solid start for UConn in that way, right? Getting a piece of the second side of the floor and making things happen from the mid-range that time for the sophomore Shade.
UConn, the most accurate shooting team in the country, shooting over 50% as a team. A perfect start with good hands for Caitlin Chen.
And Caitlin Chen right there, great deflection, and now they can push tempo the other way.
A long skip for Strong out of the corner. It's Shade one more time. Perfection! 3 of 3.
Yeah, and she just said, let's go on the way back. She just exudes toughness, and she's ready for the moment.
Well, UConn really needs a third scorer beyond Strong and Paige Bueckers. They've found it early in this game, and Audie Crooks averaging 21 and a half a night, has 4 to start.
And that's exactly why. Regardless of the wickets that she has to split inside defensively, she finds a way to get a bucket. She has soft hands in there and can finish.
And Bueckers off balance with a miss. We talked about a lot of the stars in this game without getting too deep on Paige Bueckers yet, as Crooks out deep, can't connect.
Crooks can shoot those, right? She hasn't taken a lot of threes, but she has the ability to knock them in.
Strong tries her hands. Not here, and it's out of bounds.
Strong, a 33% shooter from the three-point line. But it's been Ashlynn Shade for Connecticut. 10 toes down on that midi pop-in. And then they're going to find her right there on the spray-out triple from the top that snuggles home. And she's just playing with a high level of discipline. And it's the spacing that Connecticut has had, and the ability to make those extra passes have been great.
Now the three, this one from Brown and off.
Addie Brown right there, sophomore. Shoots it at just under 39% on the season from there. That one was just a little off the mark. Looks like she rushed her mechanics.
Chen driving kick. Shade stays sizzling.
And that one is contested, and she had a little wry smile on her face on the way back, showing that she knows that she's on a heater at the present moment.
She is still smiling.
Yeah, she feels it. She's in a flow. We love to see that.
Shade has all 11 UConn points. Hands on Bueckers. Disruptive, but no turnover. And a couple players late rejoining the play with the point guard Ryan back in there. Takes a peek at the shot clock. It's down to 3. Crooks creates. Oh, end of the clock.
Oh my goodness, what a tangled web we weave inside. In terms of the defense that was all around Crooks, but it didn't matter at all.
Oh, come on now. Come on now. Ashlynn Shade, ridiculous start.
No shade.
Almost to her season high before the first media timeout.
Just blustering from the outside.
The three won't stick for Tanky. With some pace, here comes Strong. Into Crooks, and a foul.
Sarah Strong got right downhill and got right into the body of Crooks, but on the previous possession, a little handoff, pitch back pass. Ashlynn Shade drains that moon ball. Look at the happy and the joy that she is exuding. I mean, it's oozing out of her. I mean, it's fun for her to compete. And you just feel every ounce of that. How fun is that to watch?
And Sunday in the Big East opener against Georgetown, Sarah Strong, 17 and 14 in her intro in her first year.
Yeah, just super consistent, and Paige Bueckers said the only thing that can shake her is Fortnite. And Sarah Strong said, I don't think so. I'm better than you at it. You know, the little friendly banter between teammates. But, you know, you love to hear about the personalities of these players. They're not just statistics, right? They have journeys. They have other things that they're interested in doing off the floor. And teammates give a little ribbing here and there.
It was bound to happen eventually. Somebody other than Shade scored for UConn.
There you go.
And the first time Iowa State and UConn have played since 2010. Game won by UConn. The 1999 Sweet 16, Iowa State's only win ever. Arguably the biggest win in program history for the Cyclones. 4 on the shot clock again in the hands of Ryan. Slides it inside that. Will be looked at. I think that was a little bit late getting off.
Oh, that was very close, but what a supreme pocket pass. A dart of a dime on that one underneath on the weak side by Emily Ryan.
And it will count for Williams for now. The officials did say we're going to review that when we go to break. Bueckers triple. Got them all.
Yeah, great extra passes being made. And it's the patience for me for Connecticut on the offensive end. They're 5 of 6 from 3, but that's because they have made the extra pass or that pitch back handoff action from the high post.
Ryan can't answer, and a rebound for Jana El-Alfi into the game for UConn. A quick closeout on Shade. You better be ready for her to fire tonight. Bueckers got going after Ashlynn.
Coaches for one another and what they've been able to do in this women's basketball landscape, and to have it have this groundswell right now and for them to be present in that moment with their respective teams, it's really fun to watch that evolve as well.
I think the shot clock reset there, but that didn't hit the rim. So we'll get another stoppage. And they got to figure out exactly how much time should be on the shot clock. It reads 18 right now. The shot clock reset to 20.
I think they're still trying to work on that.
And
Gino
it's the difference of a second.
Befuddled
maybe?
also.
Yeah.
He's trying to make sure. Oh, they have it to 17 now.
So,
okay.
yeah.
We want to take them down. All right. Here we go. But I love the diligence of getting it correct.
So ready to go again. Ashlynn Shade had the great start. It's Bueckers again, her second three.
Well, Iowa State has been sitting in a zone, right? And they may need to rethink that. Maybe they don't like the matchup because Sarah Strong can pull Crooks out of the paint. And they don't want her to be in pick and roll situations.
And so far, UConn's threes have been better than Crooks's twos.
There you go.
Here's a three, and that's off for Reagan Wilson. And Crooks with all 6 for Iowa State. Ashlynn Shade, the leader for UConn, with 14. She's open again. Oh, can't leave her right now.
And they are firing cannons from range.
Not a breakout game, a breakout quarter for Ashlynn Shade.
And it's all threes. It's raining triples for UConn early against the 2-3 zone that Iowa State came into this game with. Ashlynn Shade has been spectacular with her just move your feet on the flight of the pass and meet Ashlynn Shade right where she is. And maybe that zone needs to be extended a step or two by each player so that shortens their path to get to the catch and to be disruptive.
Do you get out of the zone?
I don't think so, because then they're gonna put Crooks into pick and roll situations and pull her away from the basket. And they don't want to get her in foul trouble. So I think they're just trying to safeguard her ability to be a presence inside.
Well, that's the risk. UConn is unconscious.
Man. A 21-point lead out of the gates. Iowa State not able to strike from the outside. 0 for 6 for the Cyclones.
And if it's not Shade, it's Bueckers. They are a combined 8 of 8 from beyond the arc. Bueckers, third of the night.
But look at Sarah Strong. She's a freshman. With that pitch back pass on a skip to Paige Bueckers, the 5th-year player, a 2-time Player of the Week recipient already this season, who shoots it at a 40% clip from range, and she has been dropping daggers early in this one.
Back into Crooks. KK Arnold at the backside defense, knocks it out of bounds.
And you have to be, right? If you're going to play 3 quarters on Crooks, there better be somebody up that basket line to be disruptive.
Well, this is the other player for Iowa State, Addie Brown, that has been the scoring complement for Iowa State. On the take, Kelsey Jones with 2.
Yeah, KK Arnold, for as on time as she was in the previous defensive possession, that time she was a beat late. She didn't get there in time to disrupt on that second line right there at the rack.
And Gino Auriemma set it and shoot around a bunch. You can never be too early on Crooks. And everybody involved from out deep. This is Sarah Strong.
It's a party. From the 3-point line for the Huskies. Sarah Strong faked the pass and just pulled it with confidence. Can't shake that freshman. She's just cut differently and almost got a steal.
Took the gamble. Brown took her to the rack.
And that's what happens when you lunge, but there was defense there to contest it. It wasn't a wide open look. But if you're Connecticut, you like what you have so far against this zone. They have dissected it to perfection.
Well, Alfie can hit out there, and it rolls off. Crooks battling for it. It's Strong away with it, and a foul plus the basket. Sarah Strong.
Oh, what a fiery freshman Sarah Strong has been during her collegiate debut. She has been fantastic, staying relentless in her pursuit of possessions on the offensive board. That one, Plinko rolled into the cup.
And got all 3 on that trip.
Yeah, I had a chance to work with her at the Under Armour Elite 24. Same with Ashlynn Shade as well. They're both on my teams in their respective summers before coming to the collegiate level, and they're just cut differently in terms of their discipline.
Shade has the rebound. Did Shade shoot like this?
She did. And
when you saw her?
She was always inquisitive, too.
Well, Alfie ran the floor. Left it short.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It's like 3 or 4 days, but it was just a great way to meet the people and to see who they are as players.
Crooks back out. 3 thuds and tapped away off the Jones miss by Arnold. So UConn in this first quarter, 9 of 10 from 3. Iowa State still looking for their first 3.
9 of 10,
yeah.
Connor. From range against this zone, and they've been able to get it to that sweet spot right at the nail, that free throw line area.
Again. Oh, yeah!
Gino Ariema looks like a proud papa over there. Smiling.
With each one, you think eventually she might come down from that high.
No, let her stay up there, man. This
not happened yet.
This is a thrill to see this kind of performance. 10 of 11 from 3 for the Huskies.
Final seconds of the quarter. That 3 is off. Kelsey Jones and Iowa State without a 3 in the first quarter. Ashlynn Shade with infinite 3s.
Just an unbelievable performance. Won some nuggets or something like that, man. It's just, everything's falling on that side of the court.
Yeah, so anybody wearing a UConn jersey is hitting shots.
Basically.
The fan that came out and won the contest wearing a Paige Bueckers jersey.
Yeah. I mean, this is quite the display by UConn out of the gates here, and we'll see if there's a defensive adjustment by Iowa State.
A week removed from their biggest non-conference test. There's Shade. Oh, the first miss.
Well, they went player to player there. It's man-to-man defense by Iowa State out of that break for the quarter. We'll see how long they stay in that or if they mix it up.
Well, hustle for the loose ball. Strong right at the back of Brown. So that chews up about 10 seconds this possession. Back into Crooks. Falling, leaning, and scoring.
And her flick of the wrist is so pretty. She has great hands. She fades back just far enough to get that release point over the contested hands of your opponent. And it's just so tough to guard.
Bueckers bags another. She's perfect. 4 of 4.
Well, she's special. I mean, she's just cut differently. Paige Bueckers in her 5th season, struggled with injuries. Kind of a hopscotch during her career.
Oh, Ryan, tight finish the rim.
And that's what Iowa State needs to do more of.
Bueckers running, reversing. And Iowa State not waiting. They take a timeout at 41-14 early in the second. Bueckers catching fire those 3 games. Notre Dame, Georgetown in the Big East opener, and already 14 before halftime in this one.
It's just a phenomenal start. And just to see the effort, right, to find those 3s.
Well, Iowa State with Crooks not on the floor, turn it over.
Yeah, double dribble right there. Good defensive pressure. Addie Brown picked it up and put it back down.
Where are you going right now if you're Bill Fennelly over there on the Iowa State side?
I'm going to try to get the ball inside, and that's not to the post players necessarily, but I'm going to try to get some downhill action and try to get some attacks to the cup. Attack the gaps. Challenge UConn's gap discipline defensively to see what you can create.
Well, Ryan can do some of that off the bounce to the mid-range.
Yeah, she can definitely do that. The senior, 5'11", solid assist maker. About 7 assists a game for her this season. She was leading the country in assists prior to that Iowa game. It was a 2-point loss.
Nice shot fake for Ice Brady.
And nice patience and composure right there. Didn't get sped up with the presence of the defense in the paint. Great footwork. Affords great shots inside.
2 minutes gone in the second quarter. UConn still shooting 65%. And the Cyclones have found offense with their point guard, Ryan.
Get downhill, get to the cup, and attack. Emily Ryan. This is the previous possession of the sequence that Emily Ryan has cashed in on. That one right in the mid-range, and that one A little step-through move, tagged on the way up, and she'll head to the line to complete the three-point play.
You know, Ryan is a player that's hung around some triple-double-like numbers with how she rebounds and passes it.
Yeah, second in the country in assists with 7.3 assists per game, but she can also manufacture her own offensive production.
Scoop, no. Rebound for Sydney Harris. So down this way for the Cyclones. Ryan has scored the last 5 points. It's her favorite target. Crooks back in there.
Yeah, and I love when they're both on the same side of the floor, and just a great challenge inside defensively by UConn there.
Hansford has a hand in the face of Bueckers. Tight off the screen.
But she got tagged a little bit.
And Hansford on her back hip there.
Yeah, I thought she reached over and got a piece of the arm.
And the crowd thought there should have been an offensive foul. And Crooks did take one out here, but not looking like she's shot hunting with Brady out on her. So she takes her into the posts and hands on, foul on Brady.
Yeah, and that was smart by Crooks to turn her back, right? Because when you're facing the dribble drive as a defender, you're allowed to measure up touch. But once you turn your back, you can have the point of contact there. And once she turned her back, she got whistled for that foul.
So first on Brady. It's going to be everybody tonight. Ashlynn Shade gets a big hand with everything she's done tonight. She checks out.
As she should.
Oh, nice athletic play for Strong, who goes coast to coast.
Yeah, a smart read defensively by Sarah Strong right there. Just played the gap defense to perfection, anticipated the flight of the pass, and took it the other way.
We're talking about Ryan and flirting with triple doubles. 9, 5, and 4 for Strong.
Bananas as a freshman.
Sankey gives it up. 3 for Harris. Got it.
That's what they can do. They can knock down those threes to relieve some pressure.
And Bueckers gets fouled. It came right after the first 3 of the night for the Cyclones. UConn got it right out and ran.
Absolutely, but right here, Sarah Strong anticipating brilliantly in the open floor and finishing easy on the other side for a deuce. But Gino Ariema told us today after practice, Iowa State averages 29 points on threes, and Crooks averages 22 points a game. So he's like, you know, I'm motioning my hands like Gino does. You know, he pinches all of his fingers to his thumb together. See, there he is. I always talk with his hands. I love it. But he had his hands together like, what do? You know, 29 points from 3, 22 points from Crooks. Like, what kind of gamble do you take defensively? And we've seen that, right? We've seen them go heavy in the post area and giving them those threes. Iowa State has been able to crack the code and knock in a couple here in the last couple of possessions.
We started 0 for 8, though.
Right.
Ryan trying to shake free of Arnold. Now Brady came out and showed. Brown back into Crooks. Tough catch. Kick out with 10 on the shot clock. Right back into her. The fall away. Won't stick.
Yeah, but that's what she goes to when she feels that double team coming, especially from the weak side. She'll spin away from it with that fader in that short corner.
Good step for Chen. Creates 3 ball.
But that's the challenge, bringing Crooks out. Ice Brady was out there, so Crooks had to make her way, even though she didn't get there in time to contest that shot.
Another 3. Sydney Harris has found the range. Both Cyclone threes have come from Harris. Kelly kicks it out. Bueckers turns the corner, but a hand check.
Yeah, 2 hands, automatic whistle. Paige Bueckers tried to turn the corner there on that cross match after the screen.
That's 3 on Emily Ryan. 3 fouls.
And that's tough because she's a playmaker. She's been able to score, obviously, but we were talking about her prowess as a distributor. One of the best assist makers for Iowa State.
When Iowa State got it going scoring, it was Ryan scoring herself with 5 in a row.
I mean, Emily Ryan holds Iowa State's assist record. Went over that 800 assist number against Southern back in November.
And Bueckers off the floor here for UConn. And a jump ball. Arrows with Iowa State. And Bueckers will come right back in.
Here's a quick trip to the bench. But right here, look at that dime by Chen. Just got tied up on the catch.
That was the shortest run to the bench in basketball history.
100%.
Was that 3 seconds of game time?
About that.
And Wilson can't shake Arnold.
Yeah, KK Arnold just a menace defensively there in a stance.
Sydney Harris trying to do her best, Ashlynn Shade. Bueckers wanted to.
Yeah, she thought about it.
And Wilson was right there with her, dissuaded her from that. So it's Arnold instead. And a foul on Shelley on the way by.
And that's that thing about the threes. Okay, while that display was beautiful, can you sustain it, right? Your legs are going to give out a little bit as the game goes along. So can you maintain that three-point shooting display?
I don't know about 9 of 10 from 3 like UConn did in the first quarter. Can you sustain that?
Pretty good.
Well, Saturday night on Fox Primetime Hoops, UConn's next test against Juju Watkins in 7th-ranked USC. It all tips off at 8 Eastern on Fox. How great is it that we get a matchup within a week and a half of Paige Bueckers and Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame, and then Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins this weekend?
Oh, just a bevy of in the country right now, but our game is in great hands. You saw all those numbers. Those players are ready to take this game to the next level. They have the baton right now, and they're in a full sprint, and I love it.
And Kiki Irfin part of that group too for USC, so you get 3 preseason All-Americans in the same game on Fox Saturday night in Hartford. And Crooks with the and 1 to the Cyclones.
A bevy of stars, but here's another one, and this sensational sophomore, Audie Crooks, spinning on him, keeping contact, and getting the and 1, and a little dance, feeling it. She doesn't need to see, but a couple of them go in until she is automatic on the interior. Remember, as a freshman, she went for 40 points in the NCAA tournament and only missed 2 shots. And the only other player in NCAA tournament history to ever do that was Bill Walton back in 1973.
Paige Bueckers fires again, her first miss from 3. And to come back in this game, Iowa State might need Crooks to have a night like that. Go for 40 or so.
They got to find her. She's got to get down into her wheelhouse right in front of the rim.
Well, they found outside shooting from Harris, her 3rd of the quarter.
And here we go. That's what I said. Those threes. It's a 9-0 run now for the Cyclones.
Shade. Not here. That's newsworthy.
4 eyebrows are up between the two of us. Because, I just said, can they sustain those threes? And here comes Iowa State.
And the shots are starting to fall. Annie Brown a deep 2. 11 in a row for Iowa State.
I mean, I didn't mean to put in the atmosphere like that, but it's unfolding in that way right now. With Iowa State dropping in their fair share of triples at this juncture.
Bueckers to the mid-range. That stops the 11-0 Cyclones run.
Nicely executed there by Paige Bueckers. Her team needed a bucket. She knows how to supply those.
Back into the star, Crooks. Arnold came. Ball fake. Beautifully done. No finish on it. Alalfi has the rebound.
That's a tough shot to ball fake, bring it back to the shot pocket, and release it with Paige Bueckers with those lanky arms in the vicinity.
Bill Kenley was talking about that today. It's one thing to have the length on the back line for UConn. Bueckers gets so much on her own.
Absolutely. And she's long, lanky, possesses cat-like quickness with her anticipation skills.
Good ball movement, and then the 3 swirls out.
Let's see if they can get Crooks a touch down here. See if they can try to build on the momentum established by knocking in a couple of triples.
She wants her first of the year.
Okay.
Won't get it here.
Got to go down in the paint.
Not the area of the court.
Not right now. And not to say you can't, but just right now you need a high percentage shot.
Strong can do it from out there.
Yes. She You can definitely do it from out there. A 33% shooter from the three-point line. Sarah Strong, formidable. 2 double-doubles this season so far as a freshman. Just solidly consistent.
KK Arnold, foot on the gas. Nobody in the rear view.
Yeah, easy peasy. KK Arnold stayed ravenous and got her hands on the basketball for the deflection and the run out.
That was intimidating, just that description from you.
Yeah. I mean, that's how she plays. KK Arnold was all over it. She plays about 20 minutes a game. She plays all of them the same manner, hard. So like Sarah Strong, a little pitch back pass from Arnold, able to snuggle that one in. And then look at this defense. She just says, give me that. I'll take that whole row of cookies. This holiday time, you can have the whole row, not just 1 or 2. Eat all of them. Look at, she just took it and straight to the rack for an easy deuce in transition. But I love the attention to detail in the defensive end. And we saw them in practice, as you see Chris Daly, the longtime associate head coach there for UConn, by Gino Auriemma side for the entire tenure here for the Huskies. But, you know, we saw the attention to detail on the defensive end at practice today. And it was all about taking touches away from Crooks. And Gino Auriemma alluded to, maybe we need to apply more pressure on the perimeter so the passes don't come easily to her. But when she catches it, we have to mix up our coverages and how we present our defense to her.
Well, Alfie on the spin, no bounce, batted around, and out with UConn. Well, Iowa State's bench can't believe it. Bill Fennelly is up off his seat, the head coach.
Some questions. Also has his son on staff over there as well. But right here, you see the little extra. Yeah, there was the shoulder and the elbow over top on the displacement. And Finley was saying that that's got to be something there.
I think he said not one foul in this quarter.
Woof.
Called against UConn.
Oh, see?
And there's an offensive foul. Got his wish.
And the entire staff up and applauding that particular play, but Paige Bueckers just kind of ran out of space to operate. They credit the good defense by Jackson, who established her legal guarding position against Bueckers on that to take the charge.
So it would have had to have been a real quick 2-for-1 if the Cyclones wanted to go for it. 8-second differential. Game and shot clock approaching halftime.
Iowa State set up in a horn set here. You see the post players at the elbow extended and 2 guards in the corner. Ford's great spacing. We'll see kind of read they make out of it. A little dribble handoff and a ball screen.
Brown gives it up. 3 deflected. Strong there. And a travel. Williams took steps with it.
Yeah, Connecticut did a great job of sniffing out that action and that 3-player motion at the top in that horn set. A little pitch back and then a ball screen. They sniffed it out, got right in there to blow it up.
Well, UConn has played about as clean of a half as you could expect, shooting over 50%, just 2 turnovers, and now working in the final 5 seconds. It's Bueckers, open for a 3. Ashlynn Shade stole the show early, 20 points in the first quarter. Teammates joined the party in the second in a big.
Absolutely phenomenal when they needed a big shot, when they felt the momentum of that 11-0 run by Iowa State. Paige Bueckers came knocking back on that door and said, I'm still here, and pushed that momentum in the favor of UConn headed into that halftime locker room.
PB with the J, Eaton in the shade.
Let's go. Yeah.
UConn has it first to start the second half, and it's Bueckers right away. Missed down to Crooks. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's see what Iowa State came up with as an offensive adjustment here. Maybe to get Crooks a couple more touches down inside. And a little ball screen there at the elbow, and then trying to isolate her in there. Yep.
And she powers in and a foul.
Yep. I mean, that's what I would do, right? You have a 20-10 advantage in the paint, mainly because of Crooks' touches. Okay, so why not go back downstairs and see what else you can manufacture with the basketball in Crooks' hands. She's a 60% shooter from the floor. So let's play percentages at this point. And let's play the possibility of a fatigue factor for Connecticut after knocking in 12 of their 23s in the first half. Let's see if they can sustain that. And that's the challenge for both teams.
Because inkling might be you're down big, you got to drill a bunch of threes, but not with Crooks inside.
No, you got to go with singles. You don't need a home run triple every time down. Get the ball inside to your high percentage star in Crooks and let her go to work.
Iowa State's been ranked a lot of the year. UConn looking for another resume builder, and Paige Bueckers extends the lead.
It's just so easy and seamless for Paige Bueckers to rise and fire over the outstretched hands of Crooks right there in that high post area, right at the elbow.
An even 20 points for both Shade and Bueckers. Crooks left it on the front of the rim.
She's not going to miss many of those, but she tried to adjust her shot because she felt the defense coming behind her.
Well, this was a 5-on-4 for UConn, and they end up converting anyway with Strong out deep.
Sarah Strong is just so smooth with her game. Freshman who just comes in here flirting with a triple-double right now to start this third quarter after knocking in that three.
That's something to keep an eye on. 3 rebounds, 6 assists away. Brown has it offside of the backcourt. UConn extending their lead out of halftime. Strong, long, and keep it here.
But for me, Sarah Strong is like she's painting on the court. Like she's just so smooth with her game, and nothing seems to speed her up or rattle her mechanics. And she just runs back the other way like that's what I do. And not in an arrogant way, but just I've done the work. I've put the time in the gym. So I've been here before, even though she hasn't. She's a baby.
The #1 player in the country coming to UConn, which they have a lot of history with #1 recruits. 2 just played catch here, Bueckers and Strong, and a strong turnover.
Yeah, that one was a forced pass across the paint with 3 defenders in there, but 11 championships for UConn. Yes, they've had a lot of top players wear that uniform with UConn across the chest for sure.
Strong runs the floor, fills the lane, banks it home.
Great tempo control. And great ability to push with a pass to force the Iowa State defense to be established in transition like that.
That won't sit for Emily Ryan, who had foul trouble in the first half with 3. Lob, Strong catch, and couldn't put it home on the fancy one. We'll have 2 at the free throw line.
Yeah, Addie Brown sitting straight behind right there on Sarah Strong, and she was just off balance on that first one. Had that bounce right to her on the second chance opportunity. You can see right here, just trying for that degree of difficulty on the semi-reverse layup there. Snag down her own board.
So Strong has a chance with a couple of more points to join the 20-point club with Bueckers and Shade. 62 points for UConn, all but 4 of those points from Bueckers, Shade, and Strong.
What a trifecta of offensive beauty that is. That's amazing.
They saw the Bayou Big 3 in our first game and wanted to create their own.
What are we gonna call them? We gotta figure that out.
Let's brainstorm. Let me get back to you.
Top dogs.
Top dogs?
I don't know. We'll figure. I heard them playing Snoop Dogg. The band was playing that.
All right.
Dog pound.
If we can build it with that in the back, I'm in. There's Ryan with the layup for the Cyclone. We'll workshop it.
We will.
Bueckers, another one.
Just smooth as silk for Paige Bueckers from range. Just effortless ability to knock in those threes. All right, now 5 of 7 from range for Paige.
Only a matter of time before later this year she joins the 2,000-point club. And there's a 3 for Jackson.
Iowa State wants to strike from the outside in transition when they have opportunities, and that time was an opportune time to strike it.
Oh, nice screen for Brady. Led to her getting fouled.
Great two-player action by UConn on that last possession, but on the previous pitch back pass opportunity, Jen with a perfectly soft pitch pass to Paige Bueckers, and she pays it off from range. I had to hold my breath. It was so quiet in here. I didn't want anybody to hear me breathe here. It was so quiet.
Oh, well-schooled fans.
Yeah.
And exhale.
I know.
Oh, stayed free for Bueckers. Jackson couldn't corral it.
Jackson didn't need to exhale on that one because Paige Bueckers is right there, just being a defensive menace and getting yet another deflection and steal for the Huskies. Watch right here. You can tell it's in her eyes. She knew she could maybe come over there and just try to be in the right place at the right time. Man-to-man pressure, full court by Connecticut, just to slow the pace of Iowa State so they have less clock to work with in the quarter court.
Off the Brooks handoff. Ryan right back into her. Has deep position and backpedaled her way in. And it's a turnover.
We'll see. Brady right there was smart defensively and didn't give Crooks what she wanted, which was full contact right there. She stepped back, stayed loose, right? And that got her feet out of order. And she traveled with it.
Not the full chair pull, but right?
The lawn chair had a creak in it.
It was wobbling.
Yeah, it got stuck in the mud down in there a little bit.
It's a race right now to be the leading scorer for UConn. 3 players with 20 points.
Man. Well, it's just phenomenal balance that they've been able to display in this game.
And Bueckers 25, Shade 20, Strong with 21. Another one for Strong. Another hit.
24 of them. You know, you're looking at the Notre Dame stats. And the only blemish on the record for UConn, they were 3 of 16 from 3. Not the case in this one. It's been a cornucopia of how the threes have been produced. Has brought to the table in her sophomore season, but credit UConn's defense for taking away the comfortability inside for Crooks on the catch, right? We've seen her travel. We've seen her turn it over a couple of times. When they've blitzed her, they've come from the weak side with that extra attention defensively. I mean, she's coming into this game in back-to-back games over 30 points. And right now she has half of that midway through the third.
Addie Brown cashes in. Yeah, to your point, Christy, the attention that UConn placed on stopping Crooks tonight, they got 50 minutes allowed to be on the floor before the game for Brown. I'd say, I don't know, 35 to 40 of those minutes.
Oh, easily. Easily. Definite focal point.
Strong has caught fire.
But what we didn't see is Iowa State trying to find a defensive scheme for Sarah Strong. And if they meet up again, they're going to need to come up with something because her numbers have been phenomenal. 27 now for the freshman.
Lightning quick hands for Arnold. Leads to the break. And 4 Huskies touching it in transition. But they have to
too bad, but she's going to make that. She made it.
One that didn't count, but a lot that...
It's insane how well they have performed on a consistent basis. And we were thinking, well, I was thinking, can they sustain it? And the answer to that is yes. The Atomic Dogs are here to stay.
Okay, so our graphics team was persuaded by you.
They were persuaded by me, yeah.
As Crooks scores inside, they were persuaded by you to change the name, so explain why.
Well, there's a song back in the day some of my older family members told me about. No, I know about it. Atomic Dog, you know, people know. Google it if you don't. Snoop Dogg sampled it. It's a good one. Nice little beat, gets your feet tapping.
Homework, post game. The Atomic Dogs.
Yeah, Atomic Dogs. Make it stick. Put it on a t-shirt. Give me some NIL.
It's a movement.
Residuals.
Crooks to the line.
Great passes down inside, and they had just gone down in there to Crooks, decided to go back in there yet again, and it's a learning lesson, right? This is a young team in Iowa State. Yes, they did a great job in the NCAA tournament, went deep into the tournament last year with a young crew, but this year, I mean, they have 3 sophomores out there most times on the court who are still learning what to do in terms of adjustments and playing against chaos. And UConn has created chaos defensively and taken away what Iowa State likes to do.
Well, and they've challenged themselves with South Carolina,
yes.
Iowa on the road. UConn, we can basically call this a road game, technically neutral site, but partial UConn crowd, and we don't really know with the Big 12 what it's going to be and how Iowa State fits in yet.
Right, and they're going to have to figure that out as they go. But again, they're a young team that understands that in order to get where they got last year, they're going to have to play through moments like this, right? You go through things to get to things, and that's what they're working on.
And Crooks yells, "and one."
Yeah, she went through the defense right there and got that deuce to go. And don't let her get activated in that way.
Ooh, popped out for Strong.
She's so tough. You have a player in Crooks shooting 60%. You know, her free throws, she needs to get better at the free throw line, as we know. Under 65% shooter from the line this year.
Everything outside of that, I mean, the soft hands, the quick feet.
Oh, yeah, she has mitts down there, and you just throw it in her direction, and somehow she just snatches it in. She's just so solid with her skill set.
And Shade has not scored since her 20-piece in the first quarter, and the clock runs out on UConn.
That's one stop that they need to build on. Now do it again. You know, I coached for a long time. That's good, and you clap that up. Do it again. And that's the mark of a consistently disciplined team.
How do you incentivize that in a 27-point game?
You leave them on the court and make them
Playing
do it
time.
again. Right. Well, you see who can do it, and then you rotate players in there, right, and give them a chance as well. I mean, you're still chipping away at it. Crooks has scored the last several points for the Cyclones. But maybe just say, hey, can we get it to 15? Can we get 5 consecutive stops, or at least 3, and score off of them?
Make it a game in a way.
Make it a game within the game.
Now Shade back on the board.
That was Shade shooting the way that she has been shooting in this one. I mean, it has been lights out for Shade.
20 in the first quarter and none until that. But she could have stopped playing after the first.
Oh, yeah.
How she came out.
Oh, she's doing that.
And a leg out
All that
for
working.
Alfie.
Yeah, you can only have that 1 point of contact. She already had the arm bar in the back of Crooks, but you can't add the leg to try to dislodge or wedge her out of her position that she's permitted to right there in the paint.
Got to get creative to guard Crooks.
Yeah. I wish that rule was in place when I played. It was 1 point of contact. Man. It was tough down in there.
How many more points would you score?
Against Crooks?
No.
Oh,
If that
just
rule.
in general?
Yeah.
Oh. It would have been
2,000.
It would have been a little more. A couple more. It was fun times, but it was physical.
Shot clock's off. Final 10 seconds of the third.
Double drag action by UConn and a pop by Strong off of it.
On the take, past Crooks. Count another one for Strong.
A thing of beauty.
Well, a new high in her freshman season, 29 points. Sarah Strong has the Huskies up big.
Sarah Strong, sing along, why don't you? Look at that smooth move to the cup.
An atomic dog takes us to the fourth.
One of them. Yeah, top 6 for both of them, and right now Connecticut 22 assists on 29 made shots, and Iowa State no slouch, 16 assists on 20 made buckets. So highly efficient and effective for both teams. But when you're looking at the turnovers, it's 9 turnovers for Iowa State, just 5 for UConn. So both teams playing very efficiently in that way.
Addie Brown has 5 of those assists for Iowa State. She heads to the line right now.
Connecticut has a 10-2 advantage on second chance points. So when you manufacture extra possessions for your team, and I know it's about percentages, right? If your team's shooting well, you're not going to have a lot of cracks at second chance opportunities, right? Just makes sense. But 10-2, a +8 advantage there. But then you look at what Iowa State has been able to do on the interior with the 28-18 advantage in paint points. So how do you balance that out? You got to get to the offensive boards if you're Iowa State. So these are all learning lessons for the Cyclones moving forward. Another double drag action here by Connecticut. A double screen twice there, trying to free Ashlynn Shade.
Well, last time it was a pop for Strong. This ends up with Brady on a handoff for Paige Bueckers. Taking with the left and cruises to the rim.
Well, she just lulled him to sleep. And the thing about it with Paige, she's going to look you straight in the eye and lull you to sleep and then just dart by you and finish like that. And, oh, my goodness.
Hypnosis, isn't it?
Absolutely. In the most beautiful basketball way.
She's out to contest a 3 that rains in for Jackson. Well, it's no secret what Jackson is out there to do. Every make on the season has been a 3. With 13 games in.
Absolutely. Oh.
Hansford scrapping for it with Chen, who gets it away before the tie-up. Chen on the shot clock. Back in the hands of Chen. Drive, draws 2. Shade sets the feet and hits another.
Still hot. Started the game 6 of 6. 6 of 8 at halftime, and now 7 of 9 for Ashlynn Shade. Another sophomore star for the Huskies.
Take away. 2-on-2. Chen sprints up the floor and bounces it home.
Well, Iowa State on that last possession didn't match angles, right? You saw Crooks was squared to the sideline. You got to send it to the wing and put it in. You can't pass that from the top when the defense is playing on the high side. Brady didn't even have to work for that steal.
Brady got another one.
Yep.
Extra pass. Shade gave it up. Who wants to shoot it?
They're just playing games, game within the game on that possession for Connecticut. Like, okay, your turn. No, get it back.
That was recess. Keep away. You were probably really good at that game.
Actually was. Because I had long arms. I could, save myself.
Crooks bangs one home.
Her deep position is just so tough. And once you get you buried down in there inside that restricted area, that doesn't exist in women's basketball, but it is a painted line on the floor. But once you get you down in there, that's lights out.
Oh, long cut for Shade.
Great connectivity. We're talking about the assist numbers. And Connecticut continuing to stay on a string on both sides of the floor. And their defense has been phenomenal. They've taken Iowa State out of what they wanted, and I thought she was loose enough to get around. Gino Auriemma has his hands in the air on the sideline as well. Incredulously responding to that one.
So do thousands of Huskies fans here at Mohegan Sun.
Well, that's the key. You want to do a two-step and get yourself loose. You don't want to give Crooks any contact. That's what she craves. So disallow that. Don't let her get that positioning that she wants in there. You have to stay loose and get to the ball and not to the player.
More hands, more bodies being sent at Crooks. She has to give it up. Had deep position. Couldn't get it into her. Still looking that way. Late in the shot clock. Brown looks in again. It's the opposite block that they go to.
That's because of the attention that Crooks possessed on that left lane line that afforded that slip cut on the weak side.
Nice cut by Sydney Harris, who has given them some outside shooting in this game.
Yeah, had to do that. But those passes to Crooks, they were disallowed because of the defense that UConn was playing up the line, just haunting.
Oh, Chen was hiding out.
Chen got that when it dropped. I mean, she shoots it at a 54% clip from 3 coming into this one. She doesn't take a copious amount of them, but when she does, they drop in like that last one did.
And Shelley did enough to affect it. Ice Brady says good help. Thank you very much.
And that's what Connecticut has done well on the defensive end. They've helped one another, and that was something that Gino Auriemma was emphasizing today. We have to communicate. When you're the back line of defense, Shade gets a big hand there. You've got to talk about it. You have the best vantage point from back there.
Shade was trying to keep her cool and keep the serious face on during that ovation she got. She got to the end of the bench and she was kind of hiding her smile.
That's about right. She's a doll. A fierce doll. 27 of them today. Mercy. What a great night for her.
UConn's done it on this end too. One of the country's top defensive teams. They're not singling out Iowa State, getting a ton of deflections like they have a lot of the year.
Again, not matching angles there, throwing it from the top to a seal towards the baseline. Send it to the wing on the entry pass.
Lob, Shelley, more help.
That weak side is right there, ringing the alarm.
And Shelley can't turn it into points her way.
And that's another thing Iowa State can continue to work on. Their continuity on the offensive end, but their spacing.
And a foul. Brady said, weak call.
UConn, 20 is Brady. Her third. And the team's third.
She's been doing a lot of work down in there all game long, all night. Ice Brady has had the distinction of being the primary defender in there. And they decided to go with her and not Sarah Strong, right? They brought Sarah Strong over a couple times as that second line of defense, which I thought they would, right? And I was anxious to see before their shooting practice what they were going to design defensively to be disruptive to Crooks.
Well, remember, Gino Auriemma stopped their practice a couple of times and said, you have to talk. That's when the hand gestures started coming out real strong.
He did.
And when we talked to him after that, he said it's our bigs. Our bigs are on that baseline and can see everything.
Absolutely.
But they'd rather text each other sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, you know, they're so used to texting, but you get out here and you got to actually speak and communicate. And, you know, you're grown up enough once you get to college to utilize your voice, and especially on that back line, and especially with Crooks in there.
And Chen ran Harris off the line, but the Cyclones will keep it. UConn, our game summary, UConn scored 88 against Holy Cross, new season high tonight.
93 points, and it was out of the gates with the 36 points scored in the first quarter alone. Ashlynn Shade knocked in all 6 of her threes to start things off, and it was night-night after that. Or Louis, whatever you say in French. You know, all the things. But it was just an amazing display of just a complete overtaking by UConn as soon as that jump ball went up in the air. I mean, it was phenomenal to watch.
The crowd was riding on every single shot Shade took in that first quarter. And UConn has been in control ever since that first basket.
And so was I. I mean, I was leaning on you because I mean, she was unconscious, and she was in such a supreme level of zen every time she caught it. And just her mechanics were the same every shot.
Yeah, that flow state, right?
Yeah, she was right there.
Right there. Well, Alfie finishes in tight.
Nice hands in there. And they just have more depth, obviously, this year, with health being an issue the last couple of seasons. And again, Izzy Fudd on the precipice of returning for the Huskies sooner than later. That's what we were told. There she is, DMV's own, St. John's College High School. Her mom, Katie Fudd, and her dad, Tim Fudd. They're probably in the building somewhere, but coach GTS Fusion, AAU program.
Everybody hitting. There's Allie Zabel.
Come off the bench and drop him home from range. I mean, it just speaks to the culture. I mean, and that wasn't a forced shot. It was an extra pass made yet again by UConn offensively.
19 made threes, a school record for UConn.
That's just outrageously awesome for them. And again, against Notre Dame, 3 of 16 from range. So clearly they know that they have to have better balance offensively, and that's what they learned from that. So Iowa State, what can they learn from this game?
Offensive foul.
They just have to learn that they have to find different ways to score when they try to disrupt Crooks and the touches that she's used to getting down in there.
Talea took that charge. One thing that's come of tonight for Iowa State, Crooks sitting over there, is Sydney Harris,
yes.
the 48% three-point shooter.
Right.
Has done it with volume tonight.
Absolutely. And they need to find other ways to complement Crooks offensively and take some of that pressure off of her, too. I mean, I'm sure she wants it because she's a competitor. It's not like she's asking for relief in that way, but when teams like UConn come with some stout defensive energy, you've got to find another way to score.
And Shelley connects from long range.
Eclipse the 100-point plateau there. 23s.
Harris, deepest one of the night, bags that.
She was the MAC Freshman of the Year at Central Michigan. Has the ability, obviously, to be consistent from range, but a viable piece to the puzzle in terms of experience for the Cyclones moving forward in this one.
Now Harris has hit 5 threes tonight, and this will go the other way. So 5 threes this game, 3 last game for Harris. Here's what's upcoming for UConn. Another National Player of the Year candidate against National Player of the Year candidate game on Saturday on Fox with USC.
Juju. Oh my goodness. That is going to be such a great matchup with Paige and Juju in that one. But a compliment for both teams, right? It's not just those two, and I understand that. But that's what I want to see. I want to see those two matched up. Two fiercely competitive student athletes that just understand the game and are selfless in their understanding of the game. They know it's a team effort, but it's going to come down to those two, and I can't wait to watch that one.
We can put a little word in with Jason Benetti and Sarah Kustok and Allison Williams.
Absolutely.
Maybe they can suggest that and shoot around on Saturday.
Absolutely, yeah. Get them matched up so we can watch it. Please get that. Please catch yourself, baby.
Okay.
Catch yourself.
That was close.
Baby. Good.
Hi, Reagan Wilson.
Hi, Reagan.
Well, it's Big 12 time for Iowa State. Their last non-conference game tonight, and obviously a new look Big 12.
Right.
Utah's in there now, and stretch of 3 games in a row in January. Utah, Arizona State, Arizona against new teams in the league.
Yeah, I saw Arizona earlier this season, and they look great. It's going to be a great battle, and I want to see maybe after everyone's gone one time through each team, what that conference looks like now with all the restructuring.
Well, Iowa State has such a passionate and loud fan base inside Hilton. They are 8-0 at home this year. It's going to be tough out in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fight to the finish, and that's what you want conference play to be, right? Test your wares. Iron sharpens iron when it comes to those kinds of things. And you want to play against the best, and that's what is also going to help this Iowa State team, right? Playing against this UConn team that presented many challenges on both sides of the floor.
South Carolina and UConn on the non-conference schedule, and something to take with them into the Big 12. led by Shade, Bueckers, and Strong, win at 101-68 over Iowa State. Energized by a partial UConn crowd. UConn is now 42-1 at Mohegan Sun all time. And a Big East opening win and another good non-conference win coming off that loss to Notre Dame.